How's it going, Maniacs? My name's Maniacal, and today's matter is the 4th month vlog of the year, April 2018. Now, April was a pretty good month overall, but I would say that there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened, and overall I would give this month a 6 out of 10. This vlog is coming out a little bit late because of other reasons, but overall I would say April itself deserves a good 6 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 7, but it really just, I don't know, it's one of those months that kind of just dig at you a little bit and make you really want to figure out what you're doing with your life and, trying to figure out the next steps. But hey, I'll talk about that in a second. So first things first, I did wind up getting a job this month, which is freaking awesome. It's in the line of work that I mentioned that I wouldn't be talking about, and I'm going to be making about $2 less a month than I was making, but I am going to be doing that for at least the near foreseeable future, until either a better job opportunity arises or I actually get an opportunity in the job field I went to school for, which is game design or pretty much just art in general. If I can get a animation job or graphic design job or something in that field, I would most likely happily jump on that. And I know that there's a lot of opportunities, especially in Detroit right now, and I wasn't looking for work in Detroit, but I wound up getting work in Detroit anyway, or at least right on the edge of it, so hey, fun times. So I wanted to play around with the format a little bit of these vlogs, and for this one at least, I'm going to try to do a set list of questions. And it's basically based off of what I do with my wife whenever we kind of check in with each other. We ask each other how our allies are doing. So we'll ask, how are you doing physically? How are you doing mentally? How is, your spiritual side? How is everything, down the list of, the things that you need to worry about with your relationship. So I'm going to kind of try to break this down into a less personal but more focused kind of vlog. At least for this one, I want to see how people respond to this and see what they think of it. And overall, I just really want to have a little bit of a solid format for this, because I tried recording this vlog a little while ago, and I just didn't like how I did it, because I was basically just standing there in front of the camera, or sitting in front of the camera, and saying, well, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, and there was no real solid logic to it. So I'm going to start by going down the list that I created. And the first question is, how am I? Now, looking at this question, it's actually pretty tricky to pinpoint, the exact how I am, feeling. I tend to ignore emotions most times, and I tend to not really focus on a lot of that stuff. So I would actually say that I'm doing rather well, but I also realize that I'm kind of in a slump right now. I wouldn't quite say I'm in a depression, because I don't feel down as much as I, probably would be otherwise. But I also know that I don't have a lot of motivation right now to do a lot of the stuff that I want to do. I'd rather sleep than do a lot of different things, and I'd rather relax than work on myself in many different ways. So I actually kind of want to say that I am in a slight funk, but on the overall, I'm okay, if that makes sense. The second question I have is, how is my family? And that's the entire reason I moved to Michigan. That's the whole reason I'm even in this situation I'm in right now, is because I came home to be with family. And over the past month, 2 months, it's been pretty good that I got to spend time with them. But it feels like everybody's so busy. I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm in a new setup, a new house, and it's basically been a whole crazy situation of trying to figure out where we can actually stay while we try to save up a little bit of money and stuff like that. So family, like I keep saying, people are getting sick, people are falling apart, people are just, not really able to do stuff, and they're all kind of consolidating into households, which makes sense for them because it helps them out and it helps the person out who's basically taking care of everybody right now. I'm offering as much help as I can without, straining myself to the point of not being able to focus on my own life. But I've done quite a bit with them, and I'm very happy that I've actually been here for the little bit I have been. my wife and I, we've been able to do quite a bit of work on the houses, cleaning out entire buildings basically, and making sure that everything is good to go. All right, I put the question, how is work? I'm still relatively new to this job, and I like I said, I'm not really going to talk about what I do. I've really enjoyed doing it. I've really found a niche that I can go to. I have military experience where you would do this kind of work. I was doing that while I was going to school. I was able to do my homework. I was able to do a lot of the stuff that I was able to do while I was there. Now, this job I have now is a heck of a lot more intense, and I definitely need some time for adjustment for it, because I know that I'm gonna be working this for a while, and I need to be as proficient as possible. No matter what job I do, I always try to make sure that I do the best job that I could possibly do while I'm there. How is life? Now, this is a very fun and tricky question, because it really kind of goes into the how I am, but in a little bit more detail. Whenever you think about your whole life, and whenever you think about what you're doing and where you're going and stuff like that, you always want to make sure that you're going in the direction that you wanted to go. Now, being a young man, I never really knew what kind of job I wanted to do. Of course, I was the little kid that was like, I want to be a firefighter, blah, blah, blah. But whenever you grow up and you actually get into a position and you start to realize, what do I actually want to do? You start to look at all these different options. And I would love to be a game designer. I know it's a very intense job. I know that there's a lot of risk and stuff like that with it. So I would like a little bit more job security. This is something I'm realizing as time has passed. I would love to have a little bit more of a, okay, this project's done, we're gonna move on to our next project now. Okay, this project's done, we're gonna move on to our next project now. And receive, solid paychecks the entire time while I'm doing that. But it's a very scary question, because you have to really analyze a lot of different stuff, and you have to start making choices sooner than later. And I don't know, every time I ever make a choice, it always feels like I'm adding another 5-10 years of work to the things I want to do. And it doesn't seem like there's really an end to working towards something. I mean, that's life, I guess. You have to keep working towards the things you want to do, but at the same point, you want to make sure that you actually wind up in a place where you're happy eventually. And I like stability. I need to admit that to myself, and I need to admit that probably sooner than later, because, I mean, hell, it's about time to start a family. So, any new goals? Well, considering I haven't really done this format before, I want to make sure that I actually talk about all the goals I have right now. A little bit ago, my wife asked me what I actually wanted to do, and that's kind of what stems this question. And I actually made a full list of things I want to do. And I'll just go down this list, because, I mean, hell, that's what this is for. What I would like to do list. Number 1, get a job where I can do game design, artistic job. So yeah. So number 2, set time aside to record and edit 2 videos a week. Grow my channel, find a thing that I enjoy doing that also gets views. Claymation or clay stop motion videos. There's an animation project I want to do. I've already got the first video done. I just need to go through and edit it a little bit, and maybe you'll see that in the near future. Work on my game. That's another big one. Draw, paint, sculpting. Drawing is something I've always enjoyed. My mom taught me how to draw. My dad showed me cartoonish drawing. I would like to sit down and actually paint some. I would even say that, doing like inking would be in the line of painting. I'd like to write some short stories. I'd like to write some lyrics. I would like to create music, like beats and stuff like that. And with that, I would like to actually make songs. Go out and find interesting and beautiful things in the world to observe. I have a thing where I like to stay home. I know the world is a dangerous place, and I know that there's a lot of crazies out there, but I also really enjoy going out into nature, and I would like to really just take some time to do that. Talk to people and make friends. In the last vlog, I mentioned that a lot of my friends feel like strangers now, and I did finally go on Facebook, and I was like, hey, if anybody wants to hang out, just, hit me up. Well, nobody hit me up. I got a lot of likes and all that stuff on there, but nobody actually contacted me and said, hey, let's hang out or do anything. So I honestly need to go out and meet some friends. And the last thing on this list is to lose weight. I have put on way too much weight since I got out of the military, and it's definitely one of those things that I need to focus on so that I can feel a little bit better about myself, because I put on nearly 100 pounds. Losing weight is something I am struggling with right now, and I'm working my ass off on trying to figure out, what I'm gonna do to fix that. So, yay. All right, the next actual question, back to the big list. Was there any progress on the goals? Considering I'm mentioning them now, no, I haven't made any progress since this point. So the next question is, any big events happen over the month? And really, I can only think of two things that really happened. One is I got a job, which is awesome. And number two would be we moved houses again. And finally, the last question that I wrote down was, anything going to happen soon? And honestly, I don't really have anything on the list for things happening in the near future. I'm going to be working as much as I can to make money so that we can eventually move into our own place. I'm really hoping that it all pans out well, and I can actually keep working towards that goal. My wife isn't pregnant yet. I'm not going to go into too much detail on a lot of different stuff, but we're not, actively attempting. It's more of those, if it happens, it happens kind of thing. But yeah, we're not actively trying just yet. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. If you like this video, you should check out the other ones. These are kind of like a little thing I do for myself, where I just, sit down and talk to a camera and basically talk about, how my life has been going. I've been slacking a little bit on this one, and I usually put them out around the 1st or the end of the month, right there. But this one is definitely about halfway through the month, so hopefully I can get this next one out on time and actually do it well. But I can't make any promises, because, I recorded one thing for this, but it didn't really sound good. So here I am re-recording it, and hopefully I can get it out before the end of this month. Yeah. But alright everybody, thank you for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. If you want to leave a comment, or even ask me some questions, and maybe I can do that in the next vlog. Honestly, I'm an open book in these things right now, I guess. Sorry, that's the end of this. Don't forget that you matter. I will talk to all you maniacs later. Bye-bye.